Greetings. Hey everyone, how's it going? Everyone good? Okay, so thanks for coming down. Good to see everybody again. It's always nice to come here and see everyone. So I'm going to change the format up a little bit. I've been playing with the format of the class where I train now, and I'm going to change it up a little bit and see what you guys think of it. I've had some good feedback, so I want to see what you guys think. What we'll do is we're going to start the first part with some skill acquisition, play around with some different ideas. We're going to focus a lot more on spider guard today, and then we'll do some sparring, free sparring. And then we're going to talk about some ideas and stuff from spider guard after that, okay? So we'll do that all at the end, and we can all kind of, and then it's up to you how you guys want to practice, yeah? If you want to practice at the end in context, you can do that. If you want to practice it just isolated, you can do that too. So completely up to you guys. All right, everyone cool? Okay, so the first thing we're going to play with is this. I'm in spider guard. Just to show you, if you go on your knees, okay, just to show you from closed guard, getting into spider guard and what spider guard is, okay? I'm here, I've got both sleeves controlled, okay? I'm gonna open out my legs, I'm gonna scoop my hips out to the side to create space, and I'm gonna draw my shin across his stomach, yeah? I'm not taking the foot off or anything like this, I'm drawing my shin across the stomach, and I'm gonna bring my knee onto the inside, okay? Second leg now, I'm going to go off to the side slightly. I'm going to bring my other knee onto the inside. So I've got both shins on his bicep to start with, okay? From here, I can now start to work towards a spider guard. What I do is I put one foot onto the bicep and extend, turn, and then I can put the other foot on the bicep. Now we're in spider guard, okay? So I've got one foot extended, one foot bent. Try not to put both legs out extended like this, okay, and we'll see why later. But for now, one leg extended, one leg bent. Okay, so this is all I want you to do to start with, okay? Person on top, try and stay based. Yeah, try and stay on your knees, okay? We're not standing yet, we're not going to combat base, which is 1 foot, 1 knee. We're just staying on our knees. I'm gonna just try and off balance you. So I wanna try and off balance you to try and put your hips on the floor, or off balance enough to try and put your hands on the floor. But if I'm controlling your hands, it's very difficult to put your hands on the floor, okay? So I'm here, I'm gonna try and off balance. He's just gonna try and stay based. Everyone cool? Good? Okay, give that a go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're gonna add another little element into this. I'm still gonna try and off balance and unbase the person. This person is still gonna be on their knees, all right? However, it's gonna be a separate thing now. Fahad's going to try and get an inside control. So he gets his hands on the inside of my legs. So just hands inside like this to put, he doesn't even have to grab just yet, just placing the hands on the inside. And I've got to try and control the inside position, yeah? So he's going to try and control the inside position with his hands, yeah? And I'm going to try and control the inside position with my feet, okay? Still trying to off balance, still trying to unbase, yeah? But he's also trying to get an inside position with his hands, and I'm trying to get an inside position. Okay? All right? Can I stop him can I stop him from getting that? Let's see how he does it. Try and focus your attention on how he's going to try and get that inside position. Yeah? And what can I do to try and to limit that? Okay? Everyone cool? We'll talk about it afterwards. All right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Everyone good? So if you go on your back. How were you able to bring your hands in? What did you have to do? There's only really 2 ways you can bring your hands in the middle. Anyone? You can either go over or you can go under. Yeah? You can push down, you can go over, or you can come under. Yeah? It's very much going on a bear hunt. You can't go over, you can't go under, you've got to go through. All right? You can't go through. So you've got to go over and you've got to go under, okay? All right, so this is this. All right, so what I want you guys to try now is this. So if you're on top, if I look at their elbows as indicators, okay? If he starts to circle under, yeah, his elbow comes low, yeah? So if I see the elbow go low, what I want you guys to try and do is to pull your heel back to your butt. Okay, and extend the other leg, all right? So now try and come under, okay? So I'm extending one and I'm pulling my heel back on the other, Okay, so what does he do? Well, he's not going to go under, he's got to go over. As he goes over now, I'm going to use my toes to push the elbow back down, and I'm going to come here. But if you look at his elbow, as he starts to bring it, look, that elbow comes up and that hand comes in. So as the elbow comes up, I'm going to curl my toes over and try to put pressure down. So now try and bring the elbow, the hand on the inside, going over the top. Yeah, and comes in here, over the top. Yeah, yeah, goes the other way. Cool. So as he goes under, if he tries to go under, when you try and keep your foot as close, your heel to your butt as close as you can. If he goes to go over, when you try and curl your toes over the top of his bicep and push down to try and keep his elbow down to stop him from coming over. Okay? And play with the two. So let's play that game again. You're trying to go for the inside, control the inside, okay? Everyone good? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Good? Bad? Ugly? Everyone cool? Did you feel like you had more control when you had that? Yeah, when you're trying to pull in or push away to try and stop those hands coming on the inside?
One thing I was finding going with Anton is like making sure you're staying focused on like both their hands pummeling on the inside.
Yeah.
And I was finding it quite difficult to do.
Yeah.
To kind of
But if you extend one out, it can be quite tough for them to bring that in anyway.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time they'll start using their legs to use that, and that's when they start to stand.
Okay.
Generally, people are going to stand in this guard. Yeah. Staying on your knees, it's not the one. You haven't got that great base. Yeah. Okay. You bring your kid here and that's what happens. Okay, so, so I'm here. Okay, I'm here. Same thing again now, you're trying to control the inside position person here. You can either do this from on your knees, or you can go to combat base now. So you can come up 1 foot, 1 knee if you want to, okay? I've now got a point. I can either score points by knocking him onto his hip, yeah, putting his hip on the floor, or locking off a snag, a triangle snag, yeah? So if I can snag a triangle, I don't have to finish it, I just want to snag it, yeah? So I just want to get to this position, okay? So I can either snag a triangle, or I can knock him off onto his hips. 1 point for this, 3 points for the triangle. Okay? Everyone cool? Yeah? Look at what you need. Yeah, try and focus on what you need to get the triangle. How? Yep, triangle. That's okay. A triangle, the snag that I want you to try and get, all you're trying to do is have one hand on the inside, so one hand between your legs. One leg is going over the shoulder, one leg is going under his arm. So he's got one arm in, one arm out. I'm just going to lock my legs around. That's all I want. I'm not going to try and finish it or anything. Just get to this position. Okay? Cool. Everyone good? Okay. Let's grab a partner and give it a go. 1, 2, 3. How was that? Managed to catch it? Managed to catch triangles? Yeah? Where was their head position when you caught the triangle? Head position back or head position forward? Forward. Yeah, forward. So you had to focus on trying to bring their head forward and bring their weight forward, so the head comes forward to afford the triangle. Excellent. Good stuff. Okay. We're going to look at one more thing, because then we'll do a little bit of sparring. This time the person can stand. Okay. Let's do 2 things actually, and then I'll try and do a little mishmash at the end. This time the person can stand. Okay, so same thing again, you're trying to get those inside grips, control the inside, okay? Person on the bottom, once again, you are trying to make their hips hit the floor or snag a triangle. Triangle's gonna be a little bit more difficult this time because their head is further away, yeah? So let's up the points, 5 points on that. But if you manage to get their hips on the floor, 2 points for that, okay? Make sense? Does it, without me showing? I think so. I hope so. Cool. Everyone good? All right. With your partners, give it a go. 1, 2, 3. Everyone good? Yeah? Come back on here. So, So we're still using this position here in the spider guard to try and get our hands on the inside. The reason why this is better than trying to stay on my knees is I feel like I've got a lot more ability to move and turn and change direction, but also I can start using my knees to start bringing my hands on the inside, or coming across with a knee to start bringing my hand on the inside. Things become a little bit more difficult. Like we were saying, if he's using his legs to stop me, if he's using his legs to stop me from coming in, I can use my knee to start taking that on the outside, right? So it allows me more options, okay? And also allows me to keep my head away. Yeah, if my head is close, triangles all day long. Yeah? Everyone cool? Any questions on any of that? Everyone feel like they can hold the spider guard a little bit? I mean, we've done 45 minutes, like. I mean, if the legs are going up to your one side to the side, you'll know that time when you've lost that position, yeah. But you can still retain, yeah. Just one thing. If you just to show one little thing, and then we'll show some more stuff at the end. But if I'm here, the reason why I'm looking for this inside grip, so if I can come over and I can get an inside, control the inside, is if I'm here, I've got the inside controlled, I can start to pass one leg across, yeah, to come up. It's not necessarily the end of the world, because if he does this to me, it's not great, because if I can keep him at bay, then this is better, because I can start attacking, or I would start to look to get into other guards.
Kind of like what I was doing, when I lost the control space.
Yeah, so if you start to lose that control, you can always go to other guards to reset and come back. A common thing people will do is in this position, if they lose the inside, is to come onto the shoulder and have like a shallow lasso or a deep lasso guard here, where you've come over one arm. So this is it. These guards are interchangeable, yeah? This is why it's difficult. You start showing one guard and it starts blending into like 12 other guards, okay? But this is the point. I mean, like bringing the person forward and coming into like X guard and stuff like this. It's all relevant if you're starting to lose. But if he's starting to pass, so if he's got the inside grip on one side, he's got the outside grip and he comes across. If I can maintain this grip here, as he starts to come around, I can start to square myself back up. Yeah, by maintaining the sleeve grip, yeah. Going back, we talked about this, maybe not last time, but time before, about alignment, about making sure that I have my structure in place. His goal, when he gets past me, is to try and control my posture, control my base, control my structure. If he starts to come around, if I allow him this arm, he's going to come around straight around my head, and he's going to start controlling my head, yeah? Even if I'm flat on my back, if I allow him this arm, he's going to cross face me, and he's going to get to side control, yeah? If I can control this, if he starts to pass, he can't control my head. He can't control my head. So I've got this here. I can now use this to bring myself back. I build base, I have structure, I've got good posture. And we've got good alignment, yeah? Okay, if even this works anyway, even if they're starting to come around, so they come around, do a smash pass. I can redirect, I can push that hand away and bring my hips back in front of me. Yeah, same story. Everyone cool? Make sense? Yeah? Okay, so what we're gonna do for half an hour or so, we're gonna spar. So we're gonna do some sparring, 5-minute rounds. I'm gonna jump in, we'll just move about, free sparring, and then we'll talk about some spider guard ideas at the end. Everyone cool? Yes. Let's go, 1, 2, 3. Grab a partner, let's do it.